Welcome to this Mudlarking video, and today I'm going to explore the edges of a short section of the River Calder. There's the ruins of a 19th century fulling mill on one side and a public park on the other. There's also a lot of rubbish hereabouts, so I'll do a little bit too, though I probably won't film much of that. I do have a bit of a throat infection at the moment, so if my voice goes croaky, that's why, and I apologise in advance. The first find today is that the water's hideously cold and, well, looks like a piece of a Victorian potted meat pot. And there's an onion on the beach because why not? Some nice pieces of river glass which I really must use in something soon. It's all starting to pile up. What is it that I spy? It's a small halogen light bulb, quite broken. More nice glass and some wire. That's a nice piece of insulated copper, great for model making. I will take that bottle and polystyrene, probably not the clementine though. Oh, that's a really nice piece of pottery. Looks like the roofline of a cathedral on it. A piece of melted aluminium, which is quite a common find. I want to do a lost wax casting sculpture in aluminium one day soonish, so I'm collecting this, and I'll collect drinks cans too. Interesting shaped piece of iron. It's not even moving. Must be much bigger than what's on the surface. I think I'll have to leave it for today. A tiny piece of pipe stem. And oh wow, it's still attached to a pipe bowl. I think that's the best condition pipe I've found. Very nice. Looks like a cricket ball. Yep, I'll take it. Looks like another clementine there, and a large piece of blue and white. Mottled pattern, not really my taste. I'll leave it. It looks very much like people have been digging for bottles over there, and although I will check it out in a bit, I can't really express much enthusiasm because I very much disapprove. It's a public park, they won't have had permission to dig, and they haven't even filled in the holes they've dug. That's criminal, and more importantly, it's very selfish and potentially dangerous. That's an interesting piece of glass. Looks like a bottleneck, but stretched out. Anyone have any other suggestions? A Yale lock by the looks of things, just like I have at home. A mini tennis ball, probably a dog's lost toy. Oh, I didn't expect to see one of these this far downstream. It's a fossil of part of the root system of a giant tree fern from the Carboniferous period, as old as coal. It's not quite the highest definition one I've found, but it is nice nonetheless, and I'll take it and put it on my windowsill with the other fossils that I found. The top part of the lid, probably for something like a bonbon dish. Lots and lots of nice river glass on this beach. I guess this keyboard is a bit dead and beyond resurrecting. Looks like a bit of an ashtray. Excellent, vulcanized rubber bottle stopper in the broken neck of its bottle. I was getting worried that I wouldn't find any bottle stoppers today. No writing on it, but no matter, I'm happy with that. Some more wire. I'll pick that up when I do the litter pick portion of today. And is that a crocodile up there that I see? It's really hard to grab everything at once. A tennis ball, a crocodile, some river glass and a stick, nicely patterned by fungal mycelium. I've just spotted a little marble here. Probably from a cod bottle. That's a nice find. And it's quite broken, but this looks to be a very small bottle. Part of a neck and part of a body. I wonder what it once held. Some blue and white and some cobalt glass from a poison bottle. Heading over to the island in the river, which looks to be made on a foundation of stones from the old mill. Strange for the weir to only go halfway across. Maybe half has been demolished by floods, or perhaps half of the river was enough for the mill. What a long shadow this low winter sun is giving me. My 6-foot body is casting about 15 feet of shadow. From that I could work out the approximate angle of elevation of the sun if I could work out an angle from a tangent in my head, while trying not to fall over on slippery rocks, which I don't think I can today. Some plastic which I'll take now rather than have to cross over here again with a bin bag. A little piece of light blue and white, a small piece of grapevine-like pattern. River glass. And another piece. Looks like the bottle diggers have been along quite a long portion of the park. There's a few pieces of pottery here. A little low pressure swirl just off the main flow of the river has caught them. I've spotted something. It's glass, maybe the leg from a cake stand. Any other ideas, anyone? A pretty little weir, shame about all the rubbish. I'll take this back to the car and come back with a couple of bin bags. Then I'll cross the river and take a look at that bottle dump. First find in the bottle dump is a Pond's cream jar with the lid still on. That's a first for me. And a blue bottle, not quite cobalt blue, and it's a screw top, but it's still quite nice and I'll take it. Looks like this park was built on a household dump site, probably sometime after the 50s. Lots of iridescence on this piece of glass. Shame it's not a full bottle. Oh, that's a cute little bottle. I'll take it. An intact plain white cup with 2 water snails. They have first dibs on it and I don't want to evict them. I think my granddad had a vase similar to this. A rusty chamber pot. I know that some people collect chamber pots, but this is probably too far gone, so I'll leave it. I think these are heron footprints. I wonder if herons ever get their feet stuck in the mud like I so often do. I'm not seeing much that's worth picking up. The bottle diggers have probably taken most of any interesting things. Oh, I spoke too soon. This is pretty cool. I think it's likely Victorian, and I'm not at all sure what it was. It's got a tap at the top, and something came into it at the bottom, either gas or water. Ideas in the comment section, please. I'm definitely taking this, whatever it is. Another bit of wire. Yet another piece of wire. That's quite nice, with gilding. Probably would have looked like the epitome of tastelessness in its entirety, but I like this small broken piece of it. Those arches are really quite magnificent. I'm going to have to look up some photos of the mill and see if I can figure out why they exist. looks like they've left their gloves behind. And quite a deep hole which looks to be in danger of collapsing sometime soon. And quite a few things that they weren't interested in taking. Including a pot, which is very like one my mum used to have until my brother decided to store a dead mole in it. And wow, this thing looks really ugly to me, but it is miraculously intact looking. An old style jar lid, pre-screw top, that's nice. And a little ink bottle which looks like it might have a trace of the original label on it. Oh wow, it's part of an old doll. I'm always happy to find things like this. I can use them in craft work. The holes that have been dug at this end aren't as big and they look to be a bit settled. Probably been abandoned longer because they weren't all that productive for old style bottles. That's quite nice, apart from the broken top. It's got an Art Deco style line pattern and poisonous embossed around the shoulder. I'll take that and cut the top off. A little rubber bottle stopper, looks like a half-size version of the one I found for the first time in the last video. I have a few like this one already. Wouldn't be a proper Yorkshire mudlarking video without finding a teapot spout. Quite a nice one really, I'll take it. And here's a teapot missing only its spout, which makes a change. That's a nicely shaped jar. I like that and I'll take it. I am a sucker for triangular glass things. Big piece of milk glass, looks like it might have been part of a light fitting. I can imagine the furtive thrill of coming to the park in the dark and digging away at the edges with a drop into the river on one side and a few old bottled treasures on the other beneath just a metre of overburden. Still, it's a park. It's supposed to be for everyone, and this is not a good way to leave it. But of course, as ubiquitous as the teapot spout, the paste jar. Looks like a medium-aged whiskey bottle. I've spotted something interesting. Very buried, so the bottle digger's probably missed it. Oh, this is nice, and I do know what this is. Quite an ornate example of one too. Should I tell you what it is, or should I ask for guesses in the comments? Guesses in the comments, I think. I finished with the bottle dump, now onwards to the small rocky beach on this side of the river. Easier to walk through the park. I hope no one in a position of authority sees me and thinks that I've been digging for the bottles that I picked up. I do have film evidence of my innocence, but it would be a right pain if someone thought I was responsible for that mess. Right, nice little rock beach. There must be some interesting things to find. That's an interesting piece of electrical related ceramics. Reminds me a little of the Millennium Falcon. An interesting array of big slabs of millstone grit. They look natural, but their arrangement doesn't. Piece of scrap, aluminium and iron. I'll take it for the aluminium. A piece of coconut shell. A whole half a coconut shell now. I'll set it free and perhaps it'll float away down to the sea. There's something red over there. Ah, okay, it's a heart-shaped hand warmer. still intact. I don't think I'd want the chemicals in here getting out into the river, so I'll take it. Might even use it one day, winter isn't over yet. Looks to be part of a stash tin. It says, cannabis will get you through times with no money better than money will get you through times with no cannabis. A very rusted wire snipper. A fairly large piece of lead. It shouldn't be in the river. Looks like part of a cod bottle. Yeah, that's cool to find. Looks like it has some embossing on it. I can't quite make out what it says. And there's sadly no picture on it, but after I rinse off some of the old algae, I'll take it and cut the top off. I think this is a ceramic spool for cotton. Do let me know if I'm wrong. I always like to take a look at the underside of bridges. Even a single span iron road bridge can be marvellous from the underside. It gets quite deep here, too deep for my wellies. Just up there, though, a brook comes out. I'm planning on mudlarking a mile stretch of that someday soon. The cod bottle gives me hope there might be interesting things in it. Oh excellent, this is a first for me. The rest part of a clay pipe. Most of the pipe pieces around here don't seem to have these. Looks to be a shotgun shell. Yep, probably washed down from one of the local farms. No value in it, but it's plastic and I'll take it. Another piece of lead, part of an old drain this time, jammed full with bits of river glass. I think this would have been the base for an egg cup. Today I picked up more rubbish than I usually do. The further downstream I go, the more depressingly rubbish-strewn the riverbanks seem to become. I picked up 2 whole bin bags full today, one of drinks cans, wire and scrap metal, and one of plastics, a lot of which can be recycled. I hope this is peak rubbish and things get a bit better in the future. Just before roundup time, I'd like to show you this. It's quite an unusual little German doll head, being as it's hollow and somehow still intact. It's one of the first things I found which helped to spark my current interest and enjoyment in mudlarking, and my friend and occasional collaborator Kat Byrne, an excellent artist, illustrator and comic book writer, has put her into a painting for an exhibition. I'm putting a link to Kat's website in the description below. Please do take a look if you enjoy a variety of art, from life drawing and abstracts to comic styles. She takes commissions and works hard and deserves any appreciation a share here might generate for her. Now it's roundup time, and as usual I picked up river glass and pottery sherds, of which this is probably the most interesting. It doesn't look like much, but I think it's a few hundred years old. Not quite medieval, but certainly old enough to take to the portable antiquity scheme next time they have a drop-in session. A small piece of a tile which would certainly have had a picture on it. Shame there's so little of it left, but I'm happy to have found it. In the bottle dump, but not on camera, I found this little head of a figurine. I kind of just picked it up without thinking, and it was in my pocket before I even thought of switching the camera back on. Last video I found my first of this style of bottle stopper, and in this one I found 2 half-sized versions from the very same drinks manufacturer, James Simpson of Hebden Bridge. This one is also fairly local, coming from the Springwell Brewery Company Limited, which was founded in 1867 and closed in 1930 after being acquired for the 88 public houses that they owned. Undoubtedly the oldest thing I found this outing. I've previously only found these in a small tributary of this river and on the moorland near an old mill reservoir that's good for outdoor swimming when it's a bit warmer. Rather a distressed little plastic figurine of Minnie Mouse, afraid this is heading to the bin. I think this penny whistle is beyond working, and I don't think I'm confident enough in my cleaning to put it in my mouth and try to get a note out of it. Good thing I've already got a few intact penny whistles to play, and a flute and too many guitars. I found this little baggie emblazoned with cannabis leaves. It seems quite probable to me that people might have dumped their stashes into the river when they've spotted police. It goes nicely with this stash tin, and they're both going in the bin. I've no real use for either. This thing is still a mystery to me. Could it have been for a hanging gas lamp? Or a strange radiator? Or something else entirely? Suggestions would be very welcome. I do know what this thing is. I've managed to clean it a little, but I haven't polished it yet. I think it's probably brass underneath the patina. Guesses in the comments. Sorry, no prizes. I'm very poor at the moment and can't afford such things yet. From the bottle dump I pulled a few nice milk glass jars, and this 2-ounce Bovril jar, which will go nicely with my 4-ounce one. This Brill cream jar has a lovely shape, and following on from the vaguely Art Deco styling of it, this bottle of something poisonous will make a really good paintbrush holder on my drawing table when I've cut the top off it and cleaned it more thoroughly. And this other bottle of something poisonous will need more cleaning too, before I put some fairy lights in it and put it on my windowsill. I don't quite know why I brought this big pot home, but I do know exactly why I brought this crocodile back. Even though it's a bath toy and I don't have a bath, just a shower, it's because it was fun to find, and that's really most of the reason behind why I enjoy mudlarking as a hobby. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a like, a share, a comment. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks very much for watching, and for now, goodbye.